Hi, my name is Mary Miller, owner of the Thriving Entrepreneurs Facebook group, and I'm creating partnership with at least one other person. So, if there's things that you would love to hear about in the Thriving Entrepreneurs Facebook group, please comment in the section below. So what I'm going to delve into a little bit today is setting an intention and how powerful that can be. And I know there was a short video on that earlier this week, and I'm going to do a little bit more of a deeper dive. So setting an intention is really, really powerful. I've actually started doing that at the start of each day now. And what I've specifically started doing is looking at what experience I want to have for the day, and then what do I want to accomplish before the end of the day. And sometimes I win that game and sometimes I don't, but it's kind of a fun thing to do. So on a larger scale, I will share how this has worked out. So at one point, I was a project manager for a multi-million dollar project that was about I owned a budget of about $25 million over an 18 or 19-month period. And I needed to ask for $2 million in the middle of a fiscal year, which was kind of a challenge and nobody thought it was possible. So, but my intention was that the team would succeed, especially, you know, when things really needed to ramp up in about, 6 to 12 months. So what I did is I just kept that in the forefront of my mind, and there were a lot of obstacles. So at one point, the portfolio director was like, "Hey, we don't have room for buying more hardware for for this $2 million. Maybe we can uh, get what you need in some other fashion." And I think part of it was they were just afraid that no one would be able to request $2 million in the middle of the year. So and what I did is I gathered different options. I listened to the option that the portfolio director provided, and then I got other options from the technical leads and found out exactly what they needed to have and by when. And then the other thing that I did is I took each of those options and then I did a 5-year cost analysis. So like, okay, how much is it going to cost if we pick this option? And then how much is the labor going to cost? And and then once we figured that out, I had to negotiate with the portfolio director, like, hey, these are the options. I think we're going to have to request about $2 million. We can pare it down a little bit, but not as much as you probably would like. And then once he vetted it, we had to negotiate that with the sponsor, the person who would be providing the $2 million. Um, and we had to do a couple of presentations on that. So once, and to be honest, there were a couple of times when I really did fall on my face, and I had to keep coming up with the intention is for me to have the team be successful, right? So, so that, and so once I completely screwed up a presentation, I took the feedback to fix it. And then I represented the information to the sponsor in a way that was simpler and easier, and more consumable for her, versus being too technical. So, and then once she said yes to providing the $2 million, then I had to manage that conversation at least once a month for the next 5 months to make sure that we got all the funding in time before uh, there was a cutoff date as to when we could get that funding so that we could get the hardware in time and get it ordered. So, so I had to keep managing that. And then the other thing that I did is because some of that funding was coming in a little late, and which meant we couldn't order some of the hardware that we really needed, I would have conversations with the hardware lead. Okay, once we start putting this hardware together, like what kind of work can we do at different phases? So, and then once other project leaders started seeing how successful we were in not only unfolding and really laying out how we could get this hardware in the middle of the year, and then the planning it took to make that happen in reality, then other project leads wanted to be able to use our equipment, because before they're like, no, we don't really need the equipment. And then once they saw it was possible, then they suddenly wanted to be able to use our equipment once it came in, which was a totally feasible and reasonable. So then that was going to require us negotiating when each of the teams could work on the hardware, because it was going to require some different kinds of settings. So that was like a big example of how an intention can show up in reality. And it is something that I had to keep looking at. What is the next step? How do we really have this intention of having a successful team show up in reality over a long period of time? But if you wanted to look at setting an intention over a shorter period of time, this is something that I started doing pretty recently, is you can start setting an intention at the beginning of your day. So your intention might look like, this is the experience I want to have, and then this is the result that I want to produce. So as an example, it might be like, I really want to have fulfilling conversations and reconnect with at least one person before the end of the day. Or if some of you are acquiring jobs, whether it's construction or you're still working and doing a business on the side, it might be something like, okay, well, I'm going to have fulfillment and be creative and experience peacefulness. And the end result that I'm going to achieve by the end of the day is I connect with one person who is going to interview me for a job, or is going to place a bid on the service that I have to provide. Okay, so it might be something like that. And then there's another good one that I really like, that's even simpler, which is unexpected money. That's a fun game to play. So it could be something like, okay, I'm going to have fun and be fulfilled and remove distraction from myself. And one of the results is that I'm going to get some unexpected money before the end of the day. So an example of where I got some unexpected money was that I went to a dental office and they told me where not to park, and I almost parked in a parking lot where there were a bunch of attorneys. And if you park in that particular parking lot, what the attorneys will do is they will have your car towed. So so the unexpected money was that I managed to get warned not to park there in the face of almost doing that. And then the other piece that I was warned about was not taking a particular turn out of the dental office, because it's an illegal turn. I accidentally did make a turn that I wasn't supposed to make. And I was really fortunate that I didn't have to pay a fine. But after I got that warning, I made sure I didn't make that turn I wasn't supposed to make. So so there's different ways that you can get unexpected money, or different ways you can set up intentions for you throughout your day. And then again, for the larger intentions that have to be managed over time, you might have to really work with a large team of people and work out, what does that look like over a 6 to 12 month period, and then begin as if it's already complete, and then work backwards, right? And then you will be able to present something really feasible to the people who either need to purchase your services, or the people who have to sign off on the budget. So that's my video for today. If there's a particular intention that you would love to set for the next day that you want us to know about, or that you want people to really be like, hey, I can get behind you and support you in just being there. I don't know how to really describe it. It's really powerful when you share an intention that you have for the day, and then other people know about it, because then they can either support you and ask you know how it's going, provide ideas, and then possibly get you, support you in being even closer to fulfilling on that intention, or even like get you set up to be successful and reach that goal or intention even faster the next day. So if there is, again, if there is an intention that you would love to share with the group that you're setting up for the next day or even the next week, don't hesitate to share it, and then let us know how we can support you. All right. Have a great night, and I look forward to creating another video soon. The next one I'm going to set up to be live so that people can pop in. And if you have questions, then we can start answering those questions or playing around a little bit. All right. Have a great evening. Bye.